So good morning, everyone. So how are you doing? Everything is fine? I think everyone is waiting for the same thing, like a result, right? Because slowly they are announcing the result, like class 11th, class 12th, and it's your turn, I think. So, and obviously this is the best time after the exam. After the exam, you should enjoy, but at the same time, you should also focus for the next thing. So, good morning. So I know a little bit like Bagu Naru. Okay. So firstly, let me introduce myself. I am Raman Kumar. I will be teaching botany. Acha, how many of you know about the botany? Like whenever botany word enters in your ear, or we can say comes to your mind, what are the first thing that strikes your mind? Namaste. Namaste. Okay, plants. That's great. You're getting the correct answer. Plants. Okay, plants. Study of plants. So anyway, I will be teaching botany, and today the discussion topic, or we can say we are discussing the topic, which is nothing but it's a common topic for the same as we can say both plants as well as animals. So we can't say that the topic, or we can say the chapters which we are discussing today is neither the part of botany nor the part of zoology. So it is nothing but the what? It is a part of biology. It is the part of biology. So can you tell me, can you guess like what's the name of this chapter? Like which is common to both botany as well as zoology? So my name is Raman Kumar. Again, I will be teaching botany. So I'm not getting the answer, like what are the common topic which you are discussing, or we can say which you are studying in both, that is the botany as well as zoology, or we can say it's nothing but the basics, or we can say fundamentals of what? Fundamentals of life. That is a cell. Oh, I'm getting a lot more correct answer. Hence, I think you guys are serious about your study. That's why I'm getting the correct answer. Nice. Oh, okay. So obviously, so we'll start with the cell, the unit of life. Let's start with some introductory part of cell, the unit of life. So I am audible to everyone? Am I audible to everyone? Or we can say my voice is reaching everyone's place? No doubt you people are at your own place. So it's a technology with the help of which my voice is reaching to you. And obviously you are far away from this place, but still you are getting the voice. That's great. That's why we should be thankful of technology at the same time. Okay, so let's talk something about cell, and it's nothing but the what? The cell, the unit of life. So whenever it is coming, cell, the unit of life. So what is life? Can anyone tell me what is life? And anyway, like first thing I'm asking you that how's your life? Then your answer will be in two things. Either it's good or bad, right? So how's your life? Good. Okay. I'm getting a lot more answers, like innovative answers. That's good. So here it's we can say cell, the unit of life. So firstly, just try to discuss what is life. So what is life? So life means, can we say that anyone, or we can say any entity which is reproducing, and obviously performing some kind of growth, means we can say growth, reproduction, and it's a kind of movement, or we can say locomotion, like one person is going from Vijayawada to some other place. So it's obviously it's locomotion, means I can say that that person is living. That person is living. Okay. So here we'll talk something about, firstly we'll start with the growth. Firstly we'll start with the growth. So growth means, can we say that anything which is increasing its mass, or we can say increasing its number. Like last day it was 1 in number, this time it's a 2 in number. So we can say it's a growing. Same as this, earlier means that is yesterday, any entity which is of 1 kg, now it becomes 2 kg. So that is also nothing but the growth. So in many numbers, I can say that growth is there. So like 10 years back, my height was 5 feet. Now it's a 6 feet. So can we say that I am also growing? So in other ways, like a lot more things, or we can say a lot more parameters, we can say this is growing. So growth can be either that is an increase in number. Next one is increase in mass. In both the ways, we can say the growth is happening, or we can say growth is going on. Now, the next part is growth. Growth is reversible or irreversible? So obviously growth is always and always irreversible. So when something is done, you can't reverse the things. So that's why we can say it's irreversible. It's irreversible. So growth is obviously, we can say it's irreversible. Okay. So I'm just trying to define what is life. What is life? So next thing is, other than the growth, can we say that reproduction is also part of life? So second one is reproduction. And we all know that reproduction means what? If you want yourself, or we can say if I want the human beings to be there after 1 lakh years, So this is the only method which maintains the existence of human beings. So if it is not there, then obviously we can say the whole human being will be extincted, or we can say it will disappear after 100 years if it is not there. So we can say this is also the we can say characteristics of life. So one is growth, other one is reproduction. We'll go to the next one. That is nothing but the metabolism. So it's nothing but the metabolism. Metabolism means every time, or we can say every time you are having the breakfast. So why you are having the breakfast, like idli, chutney, and many other things, you are having the breakfast. So why you are taking breakfast every day? So can we say that in the form of idli and chutney, we are taking the chemical compounds. And in the chemical compounds, a lot more energy is there. So whenever you are breaking this bond, you will get a lot more energy. So with the help of that energy, you can just perform your daily life. Like if you want to go to the market, you can have that energy. If you want to go to the, we can say any other places, you will have this energy. So obviously it's a metabolism. So metabolism means, can we say that it's a sum of all chemical reactions that is occurring in my body, or we can say anyone who is living. And in that case, like a set of, or we can say it's a group of, or we can say it's many chemical reactions. many chemical reactions which is occurring, and just commonly we can say that this is the metabolism. This is metabolism. So here it's a metabolism is nothing but the set of chemical reaction occurs inside the body or outside the body. Obviously occurs inside the body. So obviously next one is, so growth is done, reproduction is done, next one is a metabolism. And the most important thing is, what's that? So it's nothing but response to stimulus. Can we say that I am just in the form of words, I am stimulating you in the form of words, or we can say any we can say communicable language. I am just giving the stimulus. But if you are alive, or we can say if you are conscious, then you can say you will answer something. So till the time you are answering, I just consider you as a living, or we can say as a conscious. Otherwise I can't say. So we'll move to the next one. So what's that? It's a conscious. So consciousness. So can we say that consciousness is nothing but it's two things which is occurring, or we can say which should occur simultaneously. Like if I am providing the stimulus, again I am waiting for the response. And once we are done with these two things, then we can say that is a conscious. So everyone is conscious, or we can say it's a self-conscious. Just I am waiting for the answer. Like one is consciousness and one is self-conscious. So is there any difference between the conscious and self-conscious? Acha, you are self-conscious. That's great. Good. Conscious means it's like a stimulus is there and response is there. So this is a conscious. But at the same time, self-conscious means what? I am just providing the stimulus, and just you are taking some time. You are taking some time to analyze what's going on. After that, you are responding. And sometime, if you want to respond, then respond. Otherwise, don't respond. So this is known as self-consciousness. Or we can say you are having the ability to manipulate the response, like whether I have to answer or not. Okay, so now it's a consciousness. So overall, growth, reproduction, next one is a metabolism, and other one is a conscious. And one more is there, that is the locomotion, or we can say it's a movement. So anyone who is having this can be considered as a living. So obviously we can consider that as a living. So in this case, just I'm going to the next part, that is a movement. So anyone who is fulfilling all these criteria, anyone who is fulfilling all the criteria is considered to be as a what? Considered to be as a living, or we can say that is a life. So our topic is what? Cell, the unit of life. The unit of life. So firstly we'll somehow introduce what is life. Now we'll just go to the unit. So unit means, so next part is it's the unit. And what is the requirement of unit? So can we say that unit is an entity? A unit is nothing but an entity which is fundamentally similar. It is not changing frequently. So obviously here we can say that it's a unit, that is an entity which is having almost similar fundamentals. Okay, so here it's one is life and one is unit. And what is the unit of this? Life. That is, a cell is the unit of life. And if you are considering this as a unit, or we can say cell as the unit, means anything less than this cell, anything less than this cells is not considered to be as a living beings, is not considered to be as a living beings. So directly I'm writing here. So after this discussion, what is our conclusion? What is our conclusion? So my conclusion is life starts from where? So life starts from the cell. Life starts from the cell. Okay. So we'll just go to the cell, the fundamental cell, the fundamental structural as well as functional unit of life. So cell, the fundamental, structural and functional unit of life, and functional unit of life. So in other words, we can say what is the simplest life? Can we say that unicellular is considered to be the simplest life? Unicellular is the simplest life. And next one is, you are unicellular or multicellular? I hope I will get the correct answer. So whoever is watching here is multicellular or unicellular? So obviously it's multicellular. Okay, I'm getting all the answer in multicellular. That's good. Okay, so obviously we'll move to the next one, is because it's important to confirm. So it's a conclusion. What is the conclusion? So conclusion is nothing but the cell, the fundamental structural and functional unit of life. Okay. Now, the next one is, can we say that anything less than the cell is not considered, anything less than the cell is not considered to be living. Anything which is less than this is not considered to be as a living. Okay. So is that clear? Like why we are calling this cell the unit of life? So firstly, define life. What is life? And obviously life is kind of complicated, or we can say complex. Some life is simple. And here it's there are a few features, or we can say characteristics of life. That is the growth, reproduction. Next one is consciousness, and many other features are there. So if you are qualifying all the features, then you can consider yourself as a living. Okay. So after that, we'll move to the next part. We'll move to the next part. Based on the cells, we can have, or we can say, based on the cells, we can have two types of organism. So one is nothing but the unicellular. Another one is the multicellular. So one is unicellular, one is multicellular. Multicellular. Okay. So obviously, being unicellular, good part is there. Being multicellular, also good part is there. Or we can say pros and cons is everywhere. Pros and cons is everywhere. So is there any doubt in this? Cell, the unit of life. Okay, so it's nothing but the one is unicellular and one is multicellular. So we'll go one by one. What is the... So can we say that unicellular is a type of bachelor? Or we can say which is who is staying away from the family. Away from the family is considered to be as a what? Unicellular. Multicellular means what? A family is there. A family is there, that is nothing but a multicellular. So what is the advantage and disadvantage? So we'll talk something about. So unicellular, can we say that at a cellular level, its life is independent. Its life is independent at what? That is a cellular level. So first point I can write here is independent living status. Independent living status. But what is the disadvantage? Like no doubt you are saying that if you are away from your home, or we can say you are staying in hostel. So sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. So when it becomes bad, when you have to do everything, like you have to cook, you have to wash your clothes, and many other things. So in this case, we can say independent living is okay. But what is the cons? Or we can say what is the disadvantage? So disadvantage is it has to do each and everything by own. No one is helping. No one is helping them. Okay. So here we'll go to the absence of what? Absence of division of level. Means in this case, a single cell is performing all its, we can say daily life, that is reproduction, circulation, respiration, and many other things. Many other things which is generally useful for their life. So in this case, we can say that a single cell will perform all its activities. And what are the activities? So we can say respiration is the activity. Next one is circulation is the... Next one is reproduction is the activity, and many other things I can add. Okay. So this is nothing but the, can we say that this is a type of disadvantage, like a single cell has to take care about everything. So this is the disadvantage. And what is the advantage? Like independent living. So it has nothing to do with the others. So here the cells, what we can say, one cell is happy. So now we'll move to the next one is. So can you tell me some example of unicellular? Okay, I'm not good. Okay, yeah, it's a bacteria, amoeba, a lot more answers are there. Paramecium, yeast. Okay, good. At least I think you people are active. So now there are few examples, but at the same time, one basic questions I'm asking. Like I have seen one example, that is the bacteria. So can you tell me bacteria is prokaryotes or eukaryotes? No doubt we'll teach something about, but still I'm just asking whether the bacteria is prokaryotes or eukaryotes. Oh, I'm getting the correct answer. It's a prokaryotes. So bacteria is also the example. Next one is, I am also getting the example from you, that is a paramecium. So paramecium is prokaryotes or eukaryotes? So paramecium is prokaryotes or eukaryotes? So obviously it's a eukaryotes. Paramecium. And after that, one more interesting example was there from the student, that is a yeast. So yeast is prokaryotes or eukaryotes? It's prokaryotes or eukaryotes. So obviously it is also eukaryotes. And many other examples we can add in the chapters. But still, till the time, these are the few examples. So what are the things that is there in the unicellular? It's independent living is there. Next one is absence of division of labors. So everything is performed by a single cell. And what are the things they have to perform is respiration, reproduction, circulation. So respiration, can you tell me any examples where respiration is absent, or we can say the living organism on this planet that is lack of respiration? I'm just waiting for the answer. Like if I am getting correct answer, it will be surprise for me. So any living organism on this planet that is lack of respiration. So few answers I'm getting correct. Few answers I'm getting correct is no one can survive without what? No one can survive without respiration. Without respiration. So this is the correct answer. Means blindly we can say that if anyone is surviving, means respiration is 100% would be there. If respiration is not there, then we can't say that it's a living. It's a living. So obviously, now we'll move to the next. We'll move to the next. That is a multicellular. So in the case of multicellular, what is the advantage? Can we say that advantage is presence of division of labor? Means someone is doing like a reproduction thing, other one is doing some kind of providing immunity, other one is involved in the circulation, other one is involved in movements. So a lot more functions are there, but everyone has been distributed, or we can say all the functions has been distributed among the cells, So here it's a, that is the first part is division of labor. Next one is, after that, what else? Achha, can we say that multicellular is dependent, or we can say multicellular is not having independent living status? Multicellular is not having independent living status. Can we say? So obviously we can't say, but if you are talking about the cellular level, at the cellular level, then we can say it's not independent. Not independent. So is that visible, my skin cells? So I'm just taking this cell out. Okay. So will this survive or not? Will this survive or not? So obviously it won't survive. It won't survive. Why? Because this one cell is dependent on my lungs, or we can say for the respiration it is dependent on my lungs. So that's why at the cellular level we can't say that it's a independent. So at cellular level it is dependent. So we can say dependent at what? At cellular level it's a dependent. Okay. So after that, what else we can add? So a lot more kingdoms are there in which multicellular. So have you heard about the kingdom that is a fungus? Kingdom fungus, plants, animals. So these are the kingdoms, and in that kingdom, whoever is belonging, it is considered to be as a what? To be as a multicellular. So in this case, we can say multicellular. Whatever the kingdoms are coming, it's a fungus. Fungus. Next one is plantae. Other one is animalia. So fungus, plantae, animalia, whoever belongs to this kingdom is considered to be as a what? Is considered to be as a multicellular. But if you are talking about the kingdoms, so for the unicellular, how many kingdoms are there? How many kingdoms are there for the unicellular? So I think it's a two kingdom. It's a two kingdom. You have studied in your class 10th and 9th. That is, one is monada, and other one is protista. So first one is, so here it's nothing but the one is kingdom monada. So monada means all bacteria belongs to this. And other one is protista. So these are the 5 kingdoms we can say: monada, protista, fungus, plantae, and animalia. So overall 5 kingdoms are there. But out of 5 kingdoms, how many of them are unicellular? So 2 are there for the unicellular, and 3 rest 3 is for the multicellular. So unicellular or multicellular means we can say based on the complexity, we can say that few are multicellular and few are unicellular. So till now, what are the things we have discussed? Cell, the unit of life, and how the life can be complex. So the complexity of life depends on whether you are having a single cell, or we can say you are a bunch of cells. Or we can say it's a single cell. So if you are a single cell, then obviously you are free to go anywhere. And in this case, if it is a unicellular, then we can say we are normally what we are: immortal or mortal. I'm just waiting for the answer. What we are: immortal or mortal? Okay, mortal. But in this case, you will be surprised, unicellular is considered to be as a immortal. So why it is immortal? Because whenever the cell becomes older, or we can say whenever the cell is getting older, it will divide into the two. So that's why it's a type of advantage. So who is good, multicellular or unicellular? I'm just waiting for the answer. So multicellular or unicellular, who is good? So multicellular will die, or we can say there is a lifespan for the multicellular, but for the unicellular it's not there. Okay. I'm getting different answers, or we can say mixed answer I'm getting. But anyway, like this bacteria can survive over like 10,000 years, lakhs of years, we can say, because it's immortal. But obviously the bacteria is getting bored of surviving this much of age. Like it's a 1 million year, 2 million year. Obviously the bacteria will be bored after this. Okay. So anyway, we'll move to the next part. few scientists are there. So few scientists are there. So the first one is, I think you might have heard about this because he is kind of most popular scientist. Most popular scientist, that is Robert Hooke, because whenever the terms cell is coming, first person that appear before you is, that is a Robert Hooke. So Robert Hooke, we can say it's a discovery of the cells. Discovery of the cells. So first thing we can add is discovery of cell. Because in that time, like it's a 17th century, it's a time of 17th century when no one was aware about the microscopes or lens, or we can say very less equipments are there. Very less equipments are there. So if you don't have your camera in your mobile, so your life becomes good or bad? If you are having the mobile but without camera, without good camera, so your life becomes good or bad? I'm getting answer like it's a bad. Someone is having mixed answer, so maybe it's a good, maybe it's a bad. Okay, bad or good. Okay, anyway. But Robert Hooke's life was not good because he was more or less interested in visualizing or seeing what? Seeing the cells. Can you visualize? Can you see this cell? Can you see this cell? It's my body cells, and that is a eukaryotic in nature. That is eukaryotic in nature. So obviously it's not visible. It's not visible. But if you are having microscope, if you are having the microscope, obviously you will be able to visualize each and every structures. Okay, so we can say in the starting of 17th century, so everyone was curious about the lens, or we can say about the camera and many other things, that is a microscope. So with the innovation, or we can say the development, with the development of this microscope help them to what? Help them to visualize even the smallest structure. Okay, and obviously Robert Hooke was the first person who was very happy, after finding this microscope. And whenever you are getting the new things, let's say you are getting the new scooty. So obviously you are fond of your scooty, or we can say every time you will just try to drive. Every time you will just try to ride this. Okay, so same thing is happening with this person, that is Robert Hooke. So after getting know about the microscope, like that person can visualize even the small things. So he was very happy. So that's why wherever he is going, he always carry what? He always carry the microscope. So whenever he is seeing the anything in their surroundings, he finds, or we can say one day he found something that looks like what? So that looks like it's a we can say cage like a structure, or we can say room like a structure. Okay, so how it looks like, I'm just drawing. So after getting this microscope, who was excited? More excited. That is Robert Hooke was more excited. But what is the unlucky things? Unlucky things was there. So the structure he was seeing with the microscope, is nothing but the dead structure. Okay. And whenever you are visualizing the plant cells, Acha, one question I'm asking, when the plant cell die, or we can say when plant cell died, what are the structure still left? What are the structure that is still left? What are the structure still left? I'm just waiting for the answer. When the plant cell will die, what is left behind? Even after the death of the plant cells. I'm getting few answers, that is correct. That is cell wall. And one more answer I'm getting like chloroplast. No, obviously chloroplast will die because chloroplast is living. Someone is saying that it's a mitochondria. Mitochondria will also die because it's a also living one. Only the dead part, that is the cell wall. So cell wall is the dead. Cell wall is dead, that remains alive. That remains will be there. So here I can add one point. So how it looks like. So under the microscope, how it looks. So it's a honeycomb like structure is there. Okay, just let me so what I said, it's nothing but the Robert Hooke, who was simply observing everything under the microscope. And whenever you are observing everything under the microscope, you will be able to see the microscopic, structure. So these are the microscopic structure. And here it's a microscope. And who is this? Obviously his name is, that is a Robert Hooke. So Robert Hooke was the scientist who firstly discovered the cell, but unfortunately that cell was dead or living. So obviously, unfortunately, that cell was dead. So here we can say this honeycomb is nothing but it is the structure of plant cell. And the name of the plant is what? So it's nothing but the cork plant, or we can say it's nothing but the Quercus suaire. Quercus suaire is the name of the plants. And the cell here we can say it's nothing but the cork cell. And next one is, what is the lining? So it looks like a room, like a structure, but obviously its a boundary is nothing but the what? So its a boundary is nothing but the cell wall. So cell wall is nothing but the boundary of the plant cell, but here the plant cell is dead. Okay, so plant cell is cork cell, that is dead one, and we all know that cell wall is also nothing but the dead structure. Okay. So can you tell me one more question? One is living cells. That too is animal cells. If animal cells died, so what are the structures left behind? Or there is no structures that left behind? Okay, I'm getting one good answer, like after the death of animal cell, dead structure will be there. Good. Bones. Means I am talking about the single cell. How the single cell can have the bone and all. Okay, so we can say that is the chemicals. Only the non-living things will left behind. And that is also not visible. Like you can find the carbohydrate, you can find the DNA, you can find the RNA. So these all parts will be there. But whatever the things that is there in the animal cells, because in animal cells, cell wall is absent. Cell wall is absent. So nothing is left behind. And if, or we can say in the form of a structure, nothing is left behind. In the form of structure, nothing will be left behind. Okay. So this is nothing but the Robert Hooke, that is the discovery of the cells. Now we'll move to the next one is one more scientist. One more scientist was there. That is, his name was, okay. And what is the similarity? What is the common thing between these two scientists? So the common thing between these two scientists is both the scientists were looking for the good microscope. We are looking for the good microscope because like us, we are looking for what? The phone with the good camera. Phone with the camera. Same as is, both the scientists was looking for what? The microscope with more magnifications. Okay, so here it's that is the main common things. After that, what is the contribution of Anton von Leeuwenhoek? So the main contribution of Anton von Leeuwenhoek is he was the first one who started culturing. Who started culturing what? That is the live cells. Who started culturing the live cells. That is the most important contribution for this Anton von Leeuwenhoek. Because let's say you are a scientist. You are a scientist and you just started experimenting on the live cells. Live cells. So the moment you started seeing, or we can say visualizing, the microscope, the cell will die. The cell will die because you don't have any techniques to what? To culture the live cells, or we can say to culture it. So that's why the main problem, or we can say the main struggle with the scientist is how to keep it alive. How to keep it alive. So he was the first scientist who has contributed a lot to the biology. Who has contributed a lot to the biology. So can we say that started culturing the live cells? And obviously he is also interested with the microscopic structure, So here we can say that, can we say that Anton von Leeuwenhoek was the first scientist who has started studying what? Who has started studying the live cells. Okay, so study of live cells, or we can say the culture of culturing the live cells. So this is the most important we can say. After that, in this chapter, what are the things we will discuss? In this chapter, what are the things we will discuss? So firstly, we will discuss that is under the cell biology, because this whole chapter we can call it as a cell biology. We can call it as a cell biology. So in this case, if you are talking about the cell biology, then firstly we'll go to the structure. So now we'll try to discuss something about the cell biology. So in the cell biology, so the first thing is structure. First thing is structure. Okay, so do all cell is having the same structure? Do all cell is having the same structure? So obviously I'm not agree with you. I'm not agree with everyone that a cell is having same structure. Cell is having same structure. So cell will change its structure, or we can say cell will change its shape. That depends on what? That depends on what the cell is doing. What the cell is doing, or we can say what the cell is functioning. What the cell is functioning. So here we can say structure, obviously we'll study about the structure. Next one is we'll also study about what? The function. Like the function of the liver cell is different from the function of the lungs, or we can say the function of the kidney cells. Okay, same as is if you are talking about the plants. Achha, how many of you know about the xylem and phloem? How many of you know about the xylem and phloem? I'm not. Okay. Okay, a lot more students know about this. So, which part is conducting water and minerals? Which part is conducting water and minerals? So, I think xylem is conducting water and minerals. A fast answer I am getting. That's great. The speed, good. And next one is we can say phloem. So, do you? How many of you have xylem and phloem in your body? How many of you are having the xylem and phloem in your body? Okay, I'm getting one student who is having xylem and phloem. Nice. Okay. Only one student, I don't know. Two student is having the xylem and phloem. So let me first clear that xylem and phloem is the conducting element for the plants. For the plants, it's not there in the animal. It's not there in the animals. So xylem and phloem is the conducting elements present in the plants. Okay. So anyway, structure, function, and next one is organization. So organization means we can say a single cell is having a lot more structures. Lot more structures means we can say that is the cell organelles are there. Cell organelles are there, and in the cell organelle we can set some mitochondria, chloroplast, and lysosomes, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi body, many other organelles we can see. After that, we can say it's a metabolism, or we can say the chemical reaction which occurs inside that is also considered to be here. So these are the few points we will discuss in the cell biology. In the cell biology, these are the points we will discuss. Now, after that, I think metabolism is there. So can we say that metabolism results to what? Growth. Metabolism results to growth. So, are you agree with me that metabolism leads, or we can say results into the growth? Or we can say growth is the resultant of metabolism? Good. So, growth is the resultant of metabolism. Okay. So, here we can say if metabolism there, obviously the cell will grow. And next one is what happens if cell is growing excessively? What happens if cell is growing excessively? So obviously the whole body becomes unstable. Whole body becomes unstable. So each and every organism will try to stabilize their body. Will try to stabilize their body. So how to stabilize? By dividing into two. It won't burst. So by dividing into the two, it can. So we can say cell division. Okay. So these are the points that we will carry out. After that, just a small point that is related to the cell is nothing but the how to divide, or we can say what are the components present in the cell. What are the components present in the cell? So firstly, we'll try to, so here it's a cell part, and each and every cell is having its boundary. Each and every cells is having its boundary. So I'm just considering whole part, or we can say whole as a boundary, as a whole boundary. So just it's a boundary, and this boundary is considered to be as a cell envelope. So cell envelope means if it is a plant cells, then it would have cell wall and cell membrane. Cell wall and cell membrane. If it is an animal cell, it is only having the cell membrane. If it is a bacteria, then it is having the glycocalyx. Thereafter, it's a cell wall. After that, it's a cell membrane. So that depends to whom you are talking. Like you are talking about the bacteria, fungus, plants, animals. So that depends to whom you are talking. Next one is, after the cell envelope, we'll have this cytoplasm. We'll have this cytoplasm. After that, the most important part is nucleus. The most important part is the nucleus. Okay. So after that, we'll just try to do something. So in the cell envelope, generally we are talking about cell wall and cell membrane. In the cytoplasm, more or less, we are talking about what? We are talking about the organelles. Okay. So can you tell me like powerhouse of the cells? Powerhouse of the cells, which is giving power to you to attend all the classes, to chat with the friends. Oh, mitochondria. Good. So the first one is, we can say it's a mitochondria. Next one is the one which is present only in plants, and that gives you good food. That gives you good food. That gives you good food. Next one is the organelles which will synthesize, which will make protein for you. Which will make protein for you so that you can grow faster. So I think it's a ribosomes, can we write? Good. So it's a ribosomes. Thereafter, we can go to the, just randomly I am writing the organelles. So it's a kind of common organelles for both the plants as well as animals. So mitochondria, chloroplast, ribosomes, vacuoles, Golgi, endoplasmic reticulum. So it's a endoplasmic reticulum. Next one is suicidal bag, that is the lysosomes. So lysosomes is good for you or bad for you? So I think it's good for you because it will help in fighting with the what? Fighting with whoever enters in your body. Whoever, or we can say whoever, like it's a bacteria, virus. If it is entering into your body, then obviously it will fight. So we can say that it's good for the body. Now next one is, or we can say it's a foreign particles. After that, many other things that is present in the cytoskeletal, that is the cytoskeletal structures. So I can consider this as a cytoskeleton. And next one is, have you heard about the centrosomes? Centrosomes, or in other word, we can say it is having what? It is having this. Next one is, so these are the few things that is present. Okay. And one protoplasm, one student is asking about the protoplasm. So here, I think you people have clear visualization, that is the cell envelope, cytoplasm, nucleus. So these are the part of cell. Okay. So, but at the same time, most of the students are confused with the terms. Like if you are talking about the cell and removing what? Removing cell wall, whatever the structure is left is considered to be as a protoplast. And next one is, in the protoplast, if you are removing what? Cell membrane, what you will get is protoplasm. And this protoplasm, if you are removing cytoplasm, you will have the nucleus. So these are the few points, or we can say it's a introductory part of cell, the unit of life. Cell, the unit of life. So we'll meet in the next class. Okay, bye everyone.